Hello and welcome to another edition of Happenings.
It really is all about and bringing the community to the school.
In the schools, developing relationships with students, with parents. No, we just taped a show on that.
Hello, welcome to another edition of Happenings in the Dearborn Public Schools. I'm David Mustonen, Director of Communications for the Dearborn Public Schools. So happy that you are taking a couple minutes to join us here and find out a little bit about some of the things going on. This is a big district. We always have a lot going on. And a man who always has a lot going on is our Superintendent Dr. Maleyko. Glenn, welcome. Another episode.
Thank you. Another episode.
As we wind down the season.
The last one for this season, third year. We're well over 50 and counting, and it's been a pleasure to be here with you and the crew and everyone, and always enjoy coming to Dearborn High and talk about important topics, as you mentioned, in the district. Yeah,
there's always something going on, and especially this time of year, busy time of year, May and June for all of us as we wind down another school year. Yeah. But it really never stops. It always keeps on kind of going.
Keeps going, and it's all positive with the ceremonies. You see the positive things going on with our students. It's actually my favorite time of year. It's a very busy time of year, but very positive. So we are very appreciative, and we have a great thing going here in the district. It's been another great school year, and there's always things that we have to face and challenges, but we're going to continue to do that, persevere, and move forward, and look forward for improvements next year with our strategic plan.
Great. Awesome. That's great. So the topic at hand, one of the big topics that we hear a lot about today is how are we going to make schools safer and better? And there's all kinds of different conversations taking place on a variety of topics. I think one of the biggest components in that puzzle, or in a piece of that puzzle, in making schools safe and improving environments of schools, and making students feel better when they're safer in school and they're at school, is the role that our social workers play in our schools. We're very fortunate. We have a very skilled team of social workers in our district, and joining us today to talk a little bit about our social workers is Dr. Rola Bazzi-Gates and Dr. Norma Harb as well, so from Fordson. Mrs. I'm sorry. I know I gave you that title there, but just roll with it.
Thank you.
So now Eric doesn't have to edit anything out. We'll just go with it.
Thank you for having us.
We appreciate you guys being here today.
Thank you so much for having us.
So we're here, we just wanted to, and this is an important topic, mentioned school safety, but the work that's done, and Rola, Dr. Bazzi-Gates, you and I have known each other for many years, going back to our time at Salina. And so it's a hot topic. I've actually been on a panel, I've been on radio shows and whatnot related to school safety, and the topic keeps coming up is mental health. So what is, you see, you're an administrator here, you oversee the department. I know you have a special interest with social workers because you're a certified social worker. What do you see as the role of the social worker in providing support for students in the district?
Well, thank you, Dr. Maleyko, for having me on the show. And as a school social worker for 18 years in our district, I'm very proud and honored to say that the school social workers do a great job in terms of focusing on the social, emotional behavior and the well-being of the child, whether we start from GSRP up to high school. School social worker play a critical role here, honestly, in terms of assisting and working with the parent, with the student, with the administrators, with the teachers, even in the classrooms. They play a critical role here, honestly, in helping them make sure that the student is successful academically, as well socially, emotionally, behaviorally. So by working with the whole family and assisting the student in the house, they do great job. Also, a big part of their job is we're focusing as a district about restorative practices and implementing programs in our district. So we have PBIS, positive behavior intervention intervention support. We have MTSS, multi-tier support system. We have Leader in Me. We have, programs in our schools that the social worker play an important role, honestly, in helping the family and the student and the administration.
Well, I know we have Dr. Warner and Dr. Swiden, who are actually they're social workers that are kind of overseeing some of the restorative implementation for disproportionate discipline. So, well, I appreciate that, and we have Norma here. Fordson, we've known each other for quite a while as well. Always a pleasure. I know we work on different programs. Could you take us through, what your role would be at Fordson High School?
Thank you for allowing me to be here. I think one of the great things that we try to do is we try to treat the person, not the symptom. And when we do that, we focus on the behaviors that are interfering with academia, because we want kids in school. We don't want them out of school. So we try to help them understand systemic change, whether it be through restorative practice, or we look at, is there a mental health need that's triggering? How do we support that? How do we not punish but support? How do we make accommodations so that they can be in the classroom, not disrupt themselves or other students while learning, and we support. The other thing that we do is, as you know, the Superintendent Student Advisory Committee is really a valuable role that students love. What it is, and you can please chime in if I forget anything, they have a process where they fill out an application, Ms. Charles sends it, students from all grades, all walks of life apply and want to be a part of the superintendent committee to talk about what issues are going on in their school. And what I love is you've given them the ability to have a voice, because your motto really is shared power. And so they get to have a perspective and meet so many people that they wouldn't ordinarily meet, whether it be from the mayor to other places, and have an inside view of what it takes to run a district. They'll even do a little bit of ripping on social media with you about snow day, snow day.
Or, they can get me anytime on WhatsApp.
Right.
But at the same time, you're giving them the ability to have a skill set and understand what it means from a city level, from the parent level, from an individual level. And you also talk about the budget and other realities that they wouldn't ordinarily have. I think the biggest role for social workers in high school is critical thinking skills. We want to prepare them for the world. And we know they can prepare them for the world. And another project that I just talked to you briefly about is a social youth dialogue that Dr. Sweden and Tara Haddad and Angela Altamati, so many other people are doing, where we have the youth be the voice. And with that comes responsibility and critical thinking. Like guns are a big issue, and what does that mean in having conversations, and what about the policy and how the MLK March, that's another thing, that's a student-led initiative where the students put together the march, I believe, David, for 3 years now? Third year, where they organize, and they're able to really do a lot with that.
Well, I appreciate that. I appreciate your involvement on the council. So it sounds like a lot of positive of proactive measures with providing some support for students when needed. And I do agree with you. The students' involvement is very positive. It really does give me cause for great hope in the city and in the country when I see the student activism and just their involvement. In fact, I had one that is not. Doesn't hold back. And one of the students, Isaiah, he texted me before the Memorial Day parade, and guess what? He got to go with me with the dignitaries and the mayor and everyone during the parade. He reached out, and so we had a lot of pictures on the post there. But it's not just him; it's others. So it's the positive leadership. But then we're also providing support for students. Dr. Bazzi-Gates, you're on the crisis team for the district. Yes. You were added to the team. We just think the mental health is an important aspect.
Definitely.
And I can tell you, and you were actually at the Fordson event when we had the panel on Channel 7. We had speakers, and that was probably one of the big things that came up several times. I don't know if you recall, David, was about mental health. And I know in our district we've expanded that. You just recently presented before the cabinet on how we've added some social workers to the district, and you had a whole plan of action on how you as a team in the district are working to try to enhance operation. What do you think it is that we could continue to do, when school safety, because that's one of the big things that mental health, some of the, the violence across the nation, it's definitely an important topic. Are there some thoughts that you have specific to that we should be doing, working with students or with others?
Sure. First of all, Dr. Maleyko, I'm very happy and proud that our district have currently 35 social workers, and we added 5 social workers just last year, and now we are in the process of hiring 2 more. So I'm proud that our district and you as a superintendent, that you value school social workers, and our board also. They do a great job, and they play a critical work, honestly, in terms of mental health or safety, restorative practices. These are very, very important issues that we pay attention to as a community and as a district. So what I'm really being very, very proactive is, of course, training the new social workers that they come to our district, providing restorative practice, providing training on CPI, crisis prevention team. This is really good, important in our district. Safety, number 1. We say student first, and student safety is also very, very important. So we look at the whole child, we focus on the social, emotional, the behavior. We are also on the suicide committee in our district. We're creating a protocol that's very important to us, a group of school social workers, and we're going to present soon to student services and also special education, and we'll go from there. Next year, we want to focus a lot about the trauma, about mindfulness, about more about CPI, restorative practice, and expand what we do, honestly. And also parent education. It's important not just to educate the students, but also focus on training MPTs to teachers and also to parents. So, and I love our partnership this year that we're having already with 5 organizations in our community to focus about suicide prevention session, and also about, prevention in terms of substance abuse, and also alcohol and drugs and drugs. So imagine how we see ourselves, honestly, as a community. We work together hand in hand as a team to support our students.
Well, and I think you brought up a great point there, is that, family dynamics have changed. The family setting has changed so much over the years, and we see children in our classrooms that are impacted. And granted, it's not always a social economic issue. It can be the highest social economic class, and those kids can bring the same issues and same family problems to the classroom that impacts their studies as any other child. And so I think we see that across the board, and that again is why the role of a social worker in our schools is so important. And just like I always say that, my job as a communications person is, when something bad happens in the district, I handle that communication so that the teachers and principals can get back to doing their job of teaching students. And that's why these support roles that we have in the district, such as social workers, are so critical to the overall mission. When our reporter calls and says, why are your graduation rates at 96%? Why have they jumped from 76% to 96% in a 6-year time period? What's the magic bullet? There is no one magic bullet, but without a doubt, our social workers are part of that overall program that we are doing to help our students, the whole student, not just the academic part of the student, but the whole student. People may argue and people may disagree that that's not the role of schools and that we shouldn't be doing this and that. But that's not our argument. These are the kids that we have here now. This is what we have to do. And you guys step up and do that. And not only working with the students, such as with the Superintendent's Advisory Council on that, but also one-on-one. Social workers have individual caseloads where they work one-on-one with students as well. So that's why your role is so critical to this district. And that's why, Dr. Maleyko, your support of our social workers in our district and realizing that, it's really a feather in the cap of the district.
Well, and that's why with the CPI we did that, and I do hear from administrators all the time that we increased social workers, and we were able to do that, working together with the department. So I think it's been really positive. So you mentioned individuals. So let's say we have a parent out there or a sibling or somebody that feels that their loved one or just a friend needs help. What would the process be for them to go through to get some assistance through our social workers in the school district?
Definitely, they can talk. They can talk to a...
So there's, one thing is, anytime a parent comes knocking, they're at a very vulnerable state. They're taking a big risk, and with trust and faith, first thing I would say is Thank you for having the courage to ask. We're all humans and we all have human needs.
Yes.
And I wanted to say to all the viewers, we all need somebody to talk to. It doesn't mean you're a bad parent. It means that you're a brave parent who wants better. So with that in mind, we would say thank you. We would offer confidentiality, and we would sit down and listen. We would make it safe, non-judgmental, and we would listen to their concerns. Because a lot of times it's not just happening in the schools, it's also happening in the home. And because they had the courage and the strength to say, I want better, we are more than willing to listen, offer help, and whether it be community resources for, say, outpatient therapy, or to look at a plan and to counsel in the school and hopefully make recommendations at home, that's where we would go. I mean, if anything, we would also make sure that it's empirically research-based. An example, we know that when kids are overloaded and with the texting, it changes their brain. We know that. A study just came out that said no child, it just came out this week, no child should be with a phone before the age of 10. Now, we know in our district that, and nationally, kids are having phones in kindergarten. So there is stuff that we can do to help take pressure off, to help the brain heal, and to help them breathe. Because everybody belongs. That's our motto. Everyone belongs.
You know, and I appreciate both of you again. And I know the other thing that you've done is when people are in need, like if we've had a death in the school or some kind of crisis, Rola, the social workers step up. And we've had crisis at the administrative center, and I remember the social workers coming and just providing support, because it may be students, but it could be staff that are going through traumatic experiences. And
they're human beings.
And emotions. I mean, we recently have had the passing of our former leader, Brian Whiston. We all had feelings around that. But, you know, years ago we had, you know, the passing of Mr. Cipriano, tragically, unexpected. And we had social workers at central office to provide, you know, support. So,
of grief.
if we do have a situation, or if the principals ask, I mean, that's what you generally do, wouldn't you, Dr. Bazzi? You send additional workers and we kind of come together? We
come together, definitely. I will create a crisis team of social workers, and we'll go to the school and we assess the need. We see like what happened at Dearborn High, unfortunately, last school year. Right away, I created a team and we went there. We went to the classrooms. Also this year, we went to Henry Ford Early College, myself and 4 social workers. We went to the classroom with the death of a teacher. So right away, we respond. We are here as a family. We are here to help and support our students in any need they have. And as you said, Dr. Maleyko, also this year what we did is we created a community directory of resources, and it has like over 87 items of agencies in the community that we can refer for, you know, mental health or medical or health or housing or legal. So family can use it. If they need help, they go to any school. Right away, we have a directory there so we can refer a family right away without wasting any time. So yes, we are here for our families. Whatever the need is, we work together as a team as part of the school and the district. And I'm very honored to be with Dearborn Public School and the support we have, honestly, from you and also our board. Yeah, it's a great, great district. And I feel so good.
We appreciate the great work you're doing. I know I mentioned at the board meeting in March, and mentioned you and others for social work appreciation. With the whole team.
Thank you so much.
And it is important. And so I guess just for the parents and the public out there that, you know, when in doubt, call the office, and we can get, social workers are here, they're ready to help, they want to help, they're here to help the children or anybody in need. And so if they contact the school office, we can get them in touch with somebody, right?
Definitely.
And a lot of times we know we have staff referring them, so a lot of times it's not just whether they reach out, it's when we see signs. So
definitely.
Again,
and also I want to say, part of continuous CPI, continuous process improvement, what we did also, 5 social workers and 1 administrator, we created a team, and also our executive director, Dr. Shokol, we created a committee and we worked on, in terms of surveying social workers, administrators, and teachers about the need. Where is the need exactly, so we can target that and provide service for them. So we came up with recommendation, and we implemented all the recommendation about, you know, how to support everyone.
Yeah, all those recommendations were fulfilled. We just reviewed it.
We just reviewed
great
it.
Job.
Yeah, thank you so much.
So thank you.
There's a lot. Yeah, thank you.
Great. Well, thank you so much for joining us, both of you.
Thank
Appreciate
you.
it.
Thank you for having us.
As we wrap up the school year, enjoy the summertime and all of that good stuff as well. Dr. Maleyko, this is our final program of this school season. So, but we'll be back.
We'll be back. Yeah, we are renewed.
Okay. We renewed the contract.
We're renewed. We got a renewed contract.
All right, very good.
You're getting 0 as a matter.
That's it.
As part of the,
still here. That's all that matters.
We're still here, and it's an exciting time. It's my favorite time of year, actually. Yeah. The stuff going on in the schools. We've got a great sports season going on with, whether it be NFL, Major League Baseball playoffs. Although we had a bit of a shortened spring this year, it's just a great time where people are positive. And I know some heat hits, but about a month ago we were hoping for the heat. So right. You put it into perspective. Our students are doing a lot of great things, and so we appreciate the great team we have in Dearborn Schools, the Board of Education, you. Yes, you, and everyone, but the entire team, the staff, and that's why we recently had Appreciation Month. So it's a great place to be in Dearborn, and we look forward to next season.
Great. Well, thank you very much, and thank you for taking a few moments to check out happenings in the Dearborn Public Schools. We are on the cable channel 19. We're also on YouTube, and you can always find links on the superintendent's blog and on the communications blog as well. So until we meet again, thank you for checking out all that is happening in the Dearborn Public Schools.